We are adults now, there is no need for us to make fun of ourselves. We have a problem. We don't know how to speak our mother tongue. You have probably tried more than once in your life but failed. And it is well known that once you reach a certain age, learning a new language is difficult. This is why I decided to share my path and the tricks I use while learning. I'll give some information for those who don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Tigrinya is part of the Afroasiatic language family and the Semitic language subfamily of northern Ethiopia, such as Ge'ez and Tigre. It is the official language in Eritrea and is also spoken in the Tigray region of Ethiopia. Why it's important? First, having survived colonialism, she deserves to be kept alive. Second, it's a written language. Said like this, it doesn't seem like a special thing. But what if I told you that there are about 7,000 languages in the world and that among these, very few use their own writing system and not the Latin one? And that is the third most popular writing system in Africa and the 21st in the world? Third, the fact that it is written allows us to maintain our history and preserve the memory of our ancestors without being corrupted by the Western stereotypical narrative of the colonial era, and sometimes, unfortunately, still current. Fourth, for all the curious and passionate about ancient religious manuscripts, in Ethiopia there is one of the oldest Bibles in the world, and it is written in Ge'ez. Pros and cons. Pro. In the writing, there are no doubles, and the system is alpha-syllabic, so the words are much shorter to write. Plus, unlike English, once you have learned the letters, there will be no surprises. Between letter and pronunciation, there is a one-to-one relationship. Cons. Many letters, they look alike, and initially it is easy to exchange them. There are some consonants that are difficult to pronounce. There are few contents. At least I found them not very funny and a little old-fashioned, and it was not a compliment. How can you learn it? By talking to your relatives, listening to music or watching my videos. By writing, you will not only learn to read, but also to fix pronunciation and typical concepts that could not be expressed in any other way. After this brief introduction, we can start. Ge'ez alphabet is an alpha-syllabic or abugid writing system. This means that we write through syllables, but that in the trace that compose it we can distinguish the consonant part from the vowel part, or rather a consonant changes slightly depending on the vowel that it is approached. We have 7 vowels: E, U, I, A, Y, E, O, also known as first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Most of the time, A and O, U and E are opposites, and I looks like a mermaid tail, and Y has a circle at his base, or you can imagine it as a foot cast or a beam. A and O miss a leg, A the left or the right one. U and E have an arm, U the right and E the left. I has a mermaid tail, Y has a circle on its right leg. A doesn't have any particular mark, and since it's the first vowel, we will use it as a base to start with. I divided the letters into blocks based on shape similarity to facilitate visual memory. B and V are identical. If you know one, you know the other. They have a very simple shape, nothing particular to remember, just V is V with a ribbon above it. Se, she, ke, khe are very similar. For the shape and the sound, you can pair them as it is most convenient for you. I prefer to pair them for sound to better show that depending on you add a stroke to the letter, the deaf sound becomes fuller. Plus, the 6th vowel of se, she, and ke, khe behave the same way. In se and she, the forelock twists, while in ke and khe, it is the left leg that twists or becomes zigzag. It's better learn how to differentiate a consonant from another consonant than a vowel in order to speed up your reading level and have a better view of the big picture. This will increase the chances of guessing a word when reading it. Let's try to apply the trick I just suggested you. We have 7 words. Try to guess the word just by reading the consonants. A, B, C, G, R. Abbaciora. B, T, biet. F, R, S, feres. H, D. Hade. S, L, S, celeste. H, R, I, herrai. Z, Y, T, zeiti. Me and we look alike, but they can't be confused because they are easy to distinguish. Me looks like glasses. Remember not to confuse wu with w. One has the armor at medium level and the other is practically level with the ground. At this point, you already know the story. Put the bow and the sound changes. Ne and nye are both reminiscent of a lightning or the Harry Potter scare. Fe and re are a seated person who watches TV. The first has the flap, the second is fit. Te, he, che have 3 legs. Te looks like McDonald's logo. He looks like a mid or a rake. Che looks like a musical note. Che is te with a bow, and pe is similar to them except for the 7th vowel. Also, now that the letters with various vowels have become so many, I think it is right to give the original images to remember these 3 letters. Pe is simple, it looks like a T in capital letters. Te looks like a sword, and the che, which is the most complicated, is a hammerhead. I think it's the perfect image. Now you have many letters to write the words with.